Um, it's 3 layers. One layer is pumpkin pie. One layer is cheesecake, and then the other layer is some other kind of cake. I don't know if it's carrot cake or what. Um, it's kind of a play on the turducken, but it's a pie cake.
And the good news is your audio is coming in nice and fine, talking about cake and
cakes and pies,
cakes and
pies. I think there's been a mistake.
Shall we do this?
Did you say steak? We should do this. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep quoting Deuce Bigelow for the next 2 hours.
Pretty much.
Nothing wrong with that. Anyway.
There's a lot wrong with that.
Yeah, I was just going to say there is.
I don't know. I like Deuce Bigelow, so it's nothing wrong for me.
It's a hilarious movie. Did not age well, but it was hilarious.
No, it didn't, but it's hilarious nonetheless.
I think the concept.
You think we can get some product placement at
movie?
Some product placement money.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, let me try and product placement.
What the hell, man?
I got my my
Izzy.
Oh, there you go. You got to turn your head a little bit.
No, I know, but I was doing the awkward product placement of
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely awkward.
I know. Like that. All right, let's do this.
It was like, have you seen Running Man? I already asked you this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 864 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Today is November 30th, 2025, also known as Post-Thanksgiving Day Pants Show. We are in the twilight aura, if you will, of Thanksgiving. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast this year has gone. I'm just going to say that now. All right. If you are unfamiliar with this podcast, we are a video game podcast, but we're a life podcast. We talk about the games we love and the industry that we love, but we also talk about everything that's been going on in our lives and the community and a bunch of other stuff. It's a fun show. It's, low key, nothing too serious, nothing too crazy. We do this every Sunday, 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. in the West Coast, 3 p.m. in the East Coast. And if you happen to be in the northern, where can we put you northern-wise, Kim? The northern, I was going to say redneck. That would be disrespectful. Native American captured territories of the southwestern Midwest areas. I think that covers it all. So, yeah.
It's a weird choice. It's a weird choice.
I took myself down that rabbit hole and I did not quite know how to get myself out of it. I don't believe I actually ever came back out of that rabbit hole. It was just
we have a phrase in the military. The first thing to do when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.
I just kept digging there. All right, we are on Discord. We have a Discord channel. I've been told many, many, many times it is the future. So there's that. I will not necessarily be on there all that often, but plenty of our podcast team members are on there. And so I will just, without further ado, I'm going to do some intros here. It's the sweater collection, I believe, today. Because I believe.
Where's yours?
I'm not a sweater guy.
We're rocking cardigans this week, Greg. What are you doing?
I didn't get the memo. Did not get the memo. But first cardigan wearer, if you will, on the podcast today is Mr. Chris Matthew. Chris, very nice.
Hi, Greg. Thank you. It's cardigan season.
It is cardigan season unless you're on the West Coast. It's never really cardigan season out here.
I was going to say, do you even own a cardigan? I mean, you live in California, so do you really need one? I mean,
no. I do have a couple sweaters. I'll be honest, I hate sweaters. They're itchy.
Let's be real. Everybody needs a cardigan, right?
I don't know about everybody.
it's so cozy. You know, you're tired. You kick back in your recliner with your cardigan, and you have yourself a nice nap. It's everybody needs a cardigan.
I will say, I could see you with a nice rocks glass of whiskey in the cardigan, just sitting by
There
the
you go.
fireside.
That
Yeah.
works
Okay.
totally.
All right.
That is a regular occurrence around the Matthew house.
Okay. All right.
As well as my house. I mean, not Chris in a cardigan drinking whiskey, but
This
me
got
in a
weird.
cardigan drinking.
This got weird.
No, right?
Kim just
Oh,
claimed your
great.
house,
I mean,
Chris.
I'll come find you, and I'll sit in your house and drink whiskey. No problem.
All right.
All right. Kim, second cardigan chair for the day. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm wearing a cardigan specifically because it's cold outside. I think the last check it was like 7 degrees. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a reason.
Fun fact, not
Other than
7
that, I'm
degrees
good.
here. Yeah.
I know. Don't rub it in. It's not.
Although
right.
it is chilly for California. It's 46 degrees outside right now. So that's a
Yeah.
good chill in the air.
Oh, okay, sure.
Well,
I'll
and we
pray.
also have the like misty kind of fog like rain. It doesn't know if it really wants to rain yet or just be foggy. So it's a little heavier, denser. So
It's not snow though, so I'll still trade you.
definitely not snow. I don't remember. I honestly, I don't think I've ever lived in a place where it actually snowed.
Mm.
I've visited the snow, and my parents live in an
Right.
area where it snows often, and so I have that experience of waking up to the snow and blah blah blah.
Right.
But and I did shovel snow once,
Once.
yeah, one time, and then told
Just
my
one
dad to
time.
go buy
That was enough.
the automated snow shoveler thing.
The snowblower.
Yes, I knew there was a word for it. I couldn't think of it. This is my California. It's just gleaming right now. I'm shining like a beacon of sun.
It's showing.
All right. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. So you can come and join the show live if you so choose. And then you could be bantering back and forth with us. We might ignore you. We
Right.
might pay attention to you. It all depends upon how wittier you are in the chat. That was difficult for me to say. How witty you are in the chat. I said whittier.
Okay.
That's a college in Southern California. Okay. What are we doing? We're going to talk some birthdays.
Spitting facts,
we have
Greg. Spitting facts.
hey, I'm all about the facts today. Okay, not totally accurate. There will be some unfactual things that will come out of my mouth. I'm positive. We do have birthdays today. I am looking at this list of birthdays and 7 birthdays to talk to. I have known of 5 of these people. One I just assumed existed, and the 7th I'm not familiar with at all, to be perfectly honest. Any guesses with the 7th person on this list? Well, let's go through the list
They're
first, and
not
then we'll go back
Are you
and guess.
Are you asking me to guess who you're not familiar with?
Possibly.
Is that-
So we're going to go through the list of people first. So we're going to celebrate some birthdays here. Byron Patzer, Fuzzyback from Lousy at Gaming, December 6th birthday. Mandy, you know what? I take it back. There's 2 people I don't know. You can already guess who that second person is. Mandy Patnikin?
Mandy Patinkin.
Patinkin,
You
yeah.
know, maybe you could just pick some people that had easier last names. I'm just saying, Mr. Matthew.
Maybe you could stop being such an uncultured swine. Indigo
I know,
Montoya.
right? Even
Good
I know
Lord.
who that is, and I live in the asshole of America. So I
Yeah,
mean, come on now.
the things I don't pay attention to. Anyway, she apparently is turning 73.
It's a he.
It's a he. It's a he.
Well, that's just a gay first name then, if you ask me.
Nope. No.
Oh yeah,
No.
I went there. All right,
Oh dear.
I'm a little
Oh,
feisty today
boy.
too.
You're gonna get us
there's
canceled.
reasons for this. I'm going to get everybody
gonna get so
blocked on
much hate
social
mail.
media. You're welcome. Billy Idol. There is a man amongst men. Billy
So
Idol.
you know what that is, right?
70 years old. Fuck you, Kim. 70 years old. Love Billy Idol. Katarina Witt, turning 60 years old. Kind of crazy to think that she's 60 years old now. Larry Bird, 69.
Yes.
I actually thought Larry Bird was older, so there's that. Surprisingly
I
young.
do too, to be fair.
And
Yeah.
the dude himself, Jeff Bridges, 76 years old, young. And then Mr. Matthew, Moose's mom, 70 years old.
Yep. Yeah, mom will be 70 on the 2nd. So happy
doesn't look
birthday,
a day
mom.
over 21.
She doesn't listen to the show, but happy birthday anyway.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let's do this. Happy birthday! Okay. We got the little birthday cheer out. So here's the thing. We know I didn't know who Mandy was, obviously. Also, I mean, if I was laying money down, it would have been a chick and apparently a guy. Who names their young son Mandy? Is it short for something else at least, maybe? Mandalorian?
That I don't know.
I don't know.
He's just always
Mandalorian,
been,
that's it. Yep. Totally. It's totally the
Mandalorian Patinkin. Yeah. It's Mandel is his actual name. He goes by
Okay. Mandel. All right. That's at least somewhat okay. Because I mean, Mandy, honestly, you're just asking your child to be beaten up at school. Seriously.
one of the greatest swordsmen ever to live. What are you talking about?
Well, you know,
Not
he probably had to
left-handed?
learn to be a swordsman because he got beat up all the time.
There's only one swordsman better than the Spaniard, and that was Wesley himself. My God.
Exactly.
All right.
I know what you're talking
now,
about.
who on this list would I have not really had familiarity with?
Well, obviously Mandy
Well, I'm going to guess
Patinkin.
it's Fuzzy.
Yes. What was that, Kim?
I said, I'm going to guess it was Fuzzy.
Fuzzy back?
Mr. Patzer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would be accurate. And obviously, I don't really know Chris's mom, but my familiarity is
Right.
I do assume Chris did not come from a test tube; that he came from an actual mother, and so
A
therefore,
bold assumption.
Yes, it was a bold assumption. Sometimes you do spit out facts like a machine. There is
Right?
a little bit of that. You were born in a test tube environment and created like a Superman kind of character that went wrong, and now you are an evil genius.
I wouldn't call him evil, but all right.
No respect around here.
right.
No respect.
I mean,
Anyway,
look, okay,
for a
honestly
little
though,
backstory,
is there ever anybody that's born in one of those environments in the movies that actually comes out as not bad?
I guess that's fair. Kyle XY. He
All
was it was a short-lived
Yeah, okay, there
television
you go.
show about a boy who was made in a test tube, but he was a hero. The only one I can
and
think
he
of.
didn't have a belly button, if I remember right.
So your point stands.
Yeah.
Yes, he had no navel. No umbilical cord, no need for a navel.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, all right. No,
Fun
anyway,
facts all the way around.
Byron,
Hello, Lord, in the chat, by the way.
right.
All this, and we just got through birthdays. I'm just saying, it's going to be this
Right.
show is going to rock today. We've got a lot to get through. Let's dive into some story time.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
I don't really know if this is my favorite time of day or not, but it's a soundbite. I do like listening to your stories, so I say we start with Kim.
Yeah, all right. Yay, me. I do want to point out before I get into this too far, Fuzzy is actually a friend of mine and actually one of my favorite Canadians, I'll put it that way. So, we used to game a lot back a long time ago. So that's why you got a birthday today. So
All right.
there you go.
In fairness, I give Canadians a lot of crap. However, I will say this.
Right.
I don't think I've ever met a Canadian I didn't like.
There you go.
And I can count the Canadians I've met on like my hand, but
Well,
all
same
of them
here. I
have
don't
been
know that
nice.
many, but they've all been nice. Yeah, I agree. All right.
all right.
On to
Kim.
the story time. Now that that's out of the way.
Yeah,
Yes.
you had multiple Thanksgivings.
Well, kind of. I guess I can get to that now.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, the reason I wasn't on the show is because, as someone else pointed out, a very Midwestern thing is we have multiple Thanksgivings. And that's only because, like, my brothers and their family and my sister and her family, we all like to get together. Even though there are times I think we hate each other. But we still like to, get together and see our kids and that sort of thing. So Sunday, that's why I wasn't here, is because my brother was hosting Thanksgiving for all our siblings and my dad and, of course, their families, yada, yada, yada. And it went well. There was always, as always, there's too much food. I eat too much, that sort of thing. And then, of course, yesterday we had another Thanksgiving, and that was the extended family, like the aunts, uncles, cousins, that sort of thing. And we've done that for years and years, ever since I was a little thing. And but sadly, because of the weather, it got canceled. So we didn't actually have that yesterday, and now I'm stuck with my body weight full of bread rolls because that's what I made to take to this thing, and it got canceled. So all this week I'll be eating bread rolls. So
Oh, I love bread rolls.
all right,
That's-
I can eat
that's-
my body
yeah.
weight in bread rolls. So it's not going to be great for my my waistline, but
Nah, but see,
yeah, fuck
but
it.
you could be making little mini sandwiches out of that. That's my go-to. I
Exactly.
take the bread rolls, and then we usually have like a
Right.
charcuterie board that only gets half eaten. So then I'm taking the
Right, there
salami
you
from
go.
that, little cheese, little honey
Yeah,
mustard maybe,
exactly.
or a spicy brown
Hey,
mustard.
there you go. Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I'm
hungry.
glad we're all on the same wavelength then about bread. I know, right? And I just had lasagna. But anyway, so anyway, we had snow yesterday. I think we got somewhere between 4 and 5 inches of snow. We didn't get as much as they called for because at one point they were talking like we were going to get a foot of snow. Thankfully, we've dodged that bullet, although it is supposed to start again tomorrow. So we'll see what
Okay.
happens. Yeah. Other than that, Mario continues to improve. He no longer
Excellent.
looks like he's anorexic. So I did kind of screw up, and I did tell him at the vet that this week was going to be, well, or last week was going to be hard to get down there for his fluid treatments because, of course, the holiday, because of course they were closed on Thanksgiving and everything else. So I kind of screwed that up last week, but this week we'll start again, and maybe I can get him to look him over and see, how we're coming along on that. But yeah, that was pretty much it for me this week. It snowed, we had Thanksgiving, and my cat is still doing well. So
I have a
there you
very
go.
weird question to ask of you, and this can also be asked of Chris or Matthew. I don't know, Chris, if you have
Okay.
cats. No. Okay. All right.
No.
No cats.
Yeah. I suppose this could apply to dogs too, but probably not. So with your cats, Kim, obviously I know you probably treat them for fleas, that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
even
Right.
when you do, they still get them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so are you a hunter, a flea hunter on your cats? Like,
Sometimes.
so
I have
yeah,
a
so like
flea
the
comb
neck
sort of
area
thing, yeah.
underneath the collar,
Mhm.
fleas love to
Oh,
go
yeah.
there. There's
Oh, yeah.
nothing more satisfying to me. Okay, there's a few things that are more satisfying to me, but popping a flea and killing it is just oddly satisfying. Multiple cats over time, I would just sit there and I would be petting them and I'd just be hunting. And the moment you could feel the flea under the fur, you like pin it down with your finger and then you're parting the fur a little bit to find it. And then that's the sound it makes.
Right. Or a tick. A tick is the same way. So,
I don't mess with ticks,
Yes.
actually.
Really?
We don't really experience the ticks either. So there's that.
Right. Well, all right. Midwest, you will have ticks. Now depending, sometimes some years are worse for ticks and fleas technically than others.
Right.
So yeah, we do all that too. But yeah, I'm with you. Like there'll be times like the cat will of course have a flea and it'll like jump on me. So I'm sitting there trying to catch that fucker and taking care of it. So anyway,
The fun you
the weird
miss,
things
Chris.
we do with
The
pets.
fun you miss.
I know, right?
Killing fleas. I'm telling you now, man.
Killing
It
fleas.
becomes oddly addicting.
We always had cats in my house growing up, and they would always get fleas on them. But I would just roll them on my fingers to break all their legs and then throw them in the trash.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
That's
there
fair.
you go.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we've covered the flea conversation. Uh,
Yeah.
let's shift over to you, Mr. Matthew. What's been going on with you?
It was a slow week. We so we started regular Thanksgiving. So we didn't travel to visit family. We stayed in the local area, and we joined with some other friends for what we all call Friendsgiving now, right? That's a thing that we do. I think there were 18 or 20 people in this house between the three families, and there was so much food. Everybody signs up for what they're going to bring, but then everybody brings more than they signed up for because they're like, oh, well, what if nobody brings this? We got to have this, right?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
We ended up with like 2 turkeys. There were 2 different trays of stuffing because one person was gluten-free. So there was like stuffing for everyone and then gluten-free stuffing, there wasn't supposed to be mac and cheese, but then mac and cheese appeared. And I mean, that's never a bad thing,
course.
right?
Right.
Yeah. So we had a great time. what I wasn't expecting was all of a sudden, as dinner was done, I was like, all right, now it's time to go watch football. And everybody gathered in the living room of this house, and they're like, we're going to play a party game. And I'm like, oh no, because that's not my scene, you know?
Right.
But it turned out to be a surprise. Yeah, it turned out to be a surprisingly good time. So everybody, it was a family friendly game. Everybody's in the room, and we split up into two teams. And the way the game works is everybody gets four little scraps of paper, and you write four different things, and it can be anything: an object, the name of a person, the name of an animal, a common phrase that people use, name of a movie, name of a song, whatever. And then they all go in a basket, get mixed up, and then you pass them around the room, and your teammate tries to get you to guess what's on their piece of paper. And now what makes it interesting is you play it in 3 rounds. So the first round, it's kind of like the game Taboo. I don't know if you ever played Taboo, but basically you can say anything you want as long as it's not on that piece of paper.
Right.
And then the second round, you're only allowed to say a single word. So the idea is everybody's heard the clues at least once. So now you have to come up with a single word that will get people to recognize what your clue is, which is harder than you think it is.
Oh, I think that would be incredibly hard.
Yeah. And then the final round is kind of an abbreviated version of charades. I was like, yeah, I'm not really here for charades, but it was fun anyway. The kids had a good time. It was clearly something they had all done before, so they enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we spent Friday putting up the rest of the Christmas decorations in the yard. I'm kind of a don't decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving person.
Amen. Yes, that is appropriate.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if Katie had her way, we would decorate for Christmas on July 5th.
Yeah.
So actually, I'll go November 1st because we do like to decorate for Halloween. So November 1st would probably be when the Christmas decorations would do.
Yeah. So
yes.
Speaking of this, I had to laugh. I'm looking across at my neighbor, and for Thanksgiving, so they love to decorate the front of their yard with stuff, and so they do big on Halloween, and then to my surprise, for Thanksgiving, they had this little blow up turkey on their front lawn. And, I'm like, okay, little Thanksgiving decoration. I hadn't seen that before, but okay, sure. Mm-hmm. So then I laughed because the day before Thanksgiving, he takes it down and starts putting up Christmas decorations. And you're like, what are you doing, man? Thanksgiving's it's not even over yet. So,
right.
Yeah. I'm with you though. You do not do any Christmas decorating until after Thanksgiving. Next day's fine.
Right.
And that's, I got up our house lights next day. That's the toughest thing I have to do. Then from there, we do a couple things in the lawn, but that's much easier to do. And I found a little trick. So we're still very much a traditional lights family, right? My wife loves the old school bulb lights. I at least have talked her out of doing those because, of course, once one goes, like the entire half the string goes. And so we have these LED blue and white lights that are like icicles, look very nice. But this house has some tall peaks to it, even though it's a single story. So last year I did, the job of going up with a ladder that was probably too short for as high as I was reaching up to. But I got in all different hooks. I put in a bunch of hooks all across the house gutters. So this year, I'm up there, short ladder. But I found out I bought, because we don't have it here, but I used to have one. But it's basically a long water shutoff rod for your sprinklers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a great tool for pushing string lights up onto hooks. So you don't have to go up as high. Nice. You just use this as an extension. So that's what I did yesterday. Got the lights up. Friday. So yeah, I'm with you though. Lights up, Christmas decorations can happen, but it has to be post Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Are you an inflatables family? You do the Christmas inflatables, or
it's funny you say that. So we had the conversation. We're getting rid of our inflatables this year. We had them and have had them, but we're going to move away from the inflatables and just go with kind of more traditional, like manger-like scenes with some lighting on them, that kind of thing.
All right.
How about you? Inflatables?
We don't have any. I don't think we have any inflatables. It's just not something that that's been our thing. We do have some figurines that go in the yard that light up. But we're kind of a white light,
Right.
maybe twinkly lights, but just plain white lights kind of clan. So
Okay.
that's what's up in the yard. Yeah.
Kim, do you decorate the house, the kitty cat pins?
Uh, well, I'm just thinking about the inflatables. At my house, they would last all of 5 minutes before one of my asshole cats would decide, "Hey, I'm gonna climb that thing," and it would have a hole in it, and it would never, it would never inflate again. Or I'd be sitting there with duct tape trying to find the hole and patching it up. And by the time Christmas was over, it would just be all duct tape. But I don't know. I don't typically like decorate the outside of the house because yes, cats. But like I'll put like a wreath on the door, that sort of thing. So that way,
Okay.
at least when people come to the house, it doesn't, it doesn't look like Scrooge lives here. Because there are definitely some years where I'm definitely on the fence on whether or not I even want to put a Christmas tree up. So.
Right.
And it's not that I hate Christmas. It's just, like I said, I've got cats and kids and everything else, and you know how that goes. So.
It's funny you said that, because this year I think is the first year we're not going to put a Christmas tree up because we're not going to be here for Christmas. We're going to be down in
Right.
Florida at Universal, so it doesn't make sense to put up a Christmas tree that we're not even going to use.
Right. Makes
So,
sense.
okay, all right. I guess that leaves me, unless there's anything else, Chris.
I think that's me.
I wanted to mention this. So weird party games, and this was I think it was becoming a pre-COVID. This game was becoming very popular. Once COVID hit, this game quickly became not popular, and I don't think it's ever recovered from it. But this was a guessing game. You had to guess what the person is saying to you, and you had to put in these weird mouthpieces that were like you were going to a dentist. So they expanded your mouth out like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're trying to talk and say things. It was hysterically funny, but not the most sanitary thing in the world.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyway, so when you said weird, funny party games, that came to mind. So I had to share. I think we still have that game too. That's the best part. We're just gonna one of these days just be like, we haven't watched these in 5 years, but trust us, it's okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So last week I was not on the show for reasons. So it all started Thursday night. My son woke up around 11:30 at night and just starts throwing up his dinner, and we're like, "Holy crap!" No pre-sign of being sick at all prior to that. He had been actually ill from the flu the week before. So I thought, well, maybe this was coming back around, or maybe he got some food poisoning from dinner, because it was like he was just throwing up all his dinner. And so he gets sick 2 different times in the middle of the night. The first time we kind of caught it in time. So it was more just like his PJs got messed up a little bit. Second time, oh no. The bed sheets are coming off. We're washing everything. Now he's sleeping in the bed with us because we didn't have any spare sheets or a pad cover for his bed because that had to get cleaned. So we're dead tired Friday morning, and I'm just like, he can't go to school. He's now running a fever. His fever was spiking around 102, and so we're just like, you know what, stay at home from school. I'll bite the bullet with work and just kind of have a easy day. That night around 11:30, we had put him to bed. Cindy was going to bed. I was up playing Arc Raiders. That's my new addiction. I'll just say that now. And my wife decided to just check the camera one more time on his room, and she noticed he was up again. So she comes in, he's burning up. So we're looking at one another, and she's like, you know what, let's call the advice nurse. Cause I said, do you want to go to ER? We can go. Let's just go now. If we're going to do it now. Cause we know you go into ER, you're guaranteed to be there for at least 5 hours. If you're lucky. If you're not lucky, it's a 7 to 8 hour experience. And so, reluctant, but I'm now leaning towards this probably is the right pathway, right? The right call. She calls the advice nurse, talking to the advice nurse. He starts, asking questions about, his discomfort. We're like, well, he's not a nonverbal special needs kid. He can't tell us he's in pain. And he's like, well, if you pushing on anywhere, does it seem like he's in discomfort? Well, his abdomen, when we pushed on his stomach a little bit, he did kind of wince a little bit and give off this like, don't mess with my belly kind of thing. So my wife's like, all right, we're going to ER. So and this is the funny thing. We start like packing for ER. So we actually made up 2 thermos mugs of coffee. We start grabbing clothes that are going to be warm enough because typically ER is freezing. And we take him down to ER. And so we're there. I think we got there about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Around 4 o'clock, they come back and the doctor's like, so we just confirmed it's appendicitis. And we're like, oh, okay. So what does that mean? He's like, the surgeon's going to come in and talk to you about options. It might be able to be treatable by medication. It might be that, surgery is the best option. And at this point, I just looked to Cindy and it's like, look, if this is appendicitis, we now know this is a possible issue for him. I think we just have surgery because we were lucky that we caught it in a good window, whereas in the future he might not be able to tell us and we might not catch it in a good window. So the surgeon comes in and he actually was already like, no, this needs to be addressed surgery wise, because we also didn't know, and it was not informed to us by the other doctor, but it was a partial rupture. So he was in a pretty rough way. So we were like, when's the surgery going to happen? He's like, right now. And we're like, okay, go for it. And so at that point, I reached out to you guys saying, hey, not making the show tomorrow. I'm not sure when we're coming home because, he had his surgery, came through it just fine. But then he had some complication happening because he did have a chest cold. And so anytime you get intubated for surgery, for whatever reason, that can cause complications with a chest cold. And so they wanted to watch him for at least 3 days. And so we were in the hospital from Saturday morning until Monday afternoon. And that was just a horrific experience. Well, I shouldn't say horrific. It was good in some respects, but it was just tough because we didn't want to leave him there alone. We did a couple times for maybe like an hour or two to like go grab something to eat, that kind of thing. But you're a special needs kid. You're in a hospital. You don't really know what's going on. Now, granted, he was drugged up pretty good, so he was fairly out of it, especially that first day. So it wasn't as precarious. And then the second day, Cindy and I started just taking shifts, being at the hospital with them. But they want you to rest and recover after surgery. But mother of God, these people come in every freaking hour to 2 hours, and and they come in and it's like they're not quiet. They don't. So I'm trying to sleep. I can't sleep. Cindy can't sleep. Collin's not getting any sleep, and I'm like, this seems counterproductive in a lot of ways, but okay. And then we had a respiratory specialist come in, and she came in with Cindy the first night, and basically they do some nebulizing with you, and then there's I'll call it like an oxygen machine, but basically it kind of forces air into your lungs to get you to cough. Because they wanted Collin to cough up any kind of phlegm he had, congestion in his chest. And so she also had a little hose to suction out phlegm that came up because he wasn't really able to spit it out himself. So I hear about this. I'm like, okay. And Cindy said, it was a little tough because Collin didn't want to sit still for it. And I'm like, okay. So I then am there the next night, and like 4 o'clock in the morning, this gal comes in. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, are we okay to do this right now? And I'm like, sure. And I didn't know what we were in for, right? So she starts doing this. And at one point, it's like Collin is like fighting like crazy. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. He gets woken up out of a dead sleep type thing. and she's doing all this stuff to him, and then she's trying to shove this hose like down his throat. And as I'm watching his face, I'm just like, this is freaking traumatizing, above and beyond anything. And so the next day when they came back in to try and do a treatment, I just said, you need to find a different treatment because this ain't happening. And so the good news is the guy that came in, he was great. They actually had some different ways of getting the congestion to start happening for Collin. They had kind of this, I'll call it a massager, but it was basically like a thumper pad. And they would put it on your back and your front of your chest, and it would basically just, it's thumping away to like you're patting somebody on the back. Anyway, so long story short, we get released out of the hospital. We're on to being at home, just getting recovered. And they put Collin on Augmentin for like 3 days. And Augmentin, is an antibiotic that is really targeted more toward, they said this will really work more towards your gut and helping any issues there. Well, Collin and Augmentin are not friends. He began having the worst diarrhea ever.
Oh, no.
And so, Mr. Matthew, you and I were playing a game together as Collin was sleeping on the ground in front of me. And I just caught it in time that time. And so I'm like, I got to be right back, and I'm helping Collin change and clean him up. And lo and behold, though, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours later, we did not catch it in time.
Oh, no.
And there were multiple experiences of not catching it in time over the course of those post-surgery days. He is off the Augmentin, thankfully, now, and things are all returning back to normal. He's doing much better. But, man, talk about that felt like the most diciest thing ever. Once we knew he was having these blowouts and just not knowing, we're putting him in like multiple diapers at the same time to try and just catch any overflow.
Right.
And that was, mixed success. And then, we were laying down different blankets that were meant for outdoor picnics, so they had like a waterproof barrier underneath where it's like anything we can do.
Yep.
So anyway, so it was just a crazy, crazy week. And of course, this all derailed our Thanksgiving Day plans. We were supposed to go down to Fresno and spend time with her mother, my wife's mother. And we've done that every year. And so this year we're just like, talking to the doctor, he's like, I don't advise going anywhere because where she lives, it's about 45 minutes away from kind of the nearest city. And so, the doctor's just like, if he has any kind of complication, you're going to be far away from getting immediate help. He's like, so I would recommend not doing that. And we kind of had already kind of in our minds thought, you know what, we'll bag Thanksgiving this year. So we stayed at home. And I've never been happier. It was just nice not having to travel. Right. We did not do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. We had pork chops with leeks and apples, which was fantastic. Green apples sliced thinly, and leeks cooked up, and we got pork chops from Costco. They're probably 3 inches thick. They're just massive pork chops, which are just great, but also tough to gauge cooking wise because they are so thick. Obviously, it takes a little longer cooking time, probably at a lower heat than I had on the grill because I barbecued them and I didn't want to burn them, but I ended up having to put them on a second time because I realized once I cut into one, I'm like, yeah, that's a little too pink.
65.
Yeah. But, and that's actually one thing we need to get ourselves a good thermometer. We have a food thermometer. It's one of those older dial ones. And it just, sometimes I feel like you put it into the middle of it, there's no movement at all. And I know there's some heat in there, so it should move a little. Anyway, and last thing we did yesterday, Collin was feeling better. We decided we're going to get him out of the house. So we went up to Plymouth Wine Country and just kind of did a day of kind of picking up our wine shipments and just having a kind of more family oriented outing. And it was lovely. Love getting out and doing a little wine tasting and getting away from just the rigors of the house. But that was it. That was me. Crazy week.
That's a lot. Ooh, that's a
Yeah, no
wild week.
kidding.
It was, and work was great. They were very understanding, which was also nice. And I will say this: I took a meeting from my son's hospital room with a potential client, and I'm not going to lie, I did it on purpose. I could have gone out to like their waiting room area, which was pretty quiet for where we were at in the hospital. But I thought, you know what, this will score me some points with the client, and it totally did. So,
There you go.
yes, I used my son. I know, no shame.
Yeah, well, you know.
We have I think a fantastic set of questions from our Discord that were actually generated by myself and Mr. Matthew, but I think they're worth talking about. So
Let's talk about it.
yeah, so here was my question to you, and of course to the chat as well, if anybody's in there that wants to play along with this. But if you could only choose one food item, your go-to, what's your go-to holiday food item? And so think Thanksgiving, Christmas, maybe Hanukkah dinner. What is your go-to item? The one thing that you're like, if I'm thinking a celebration holiday dinner, this has to be on the menu. So I will start because I made the question. I'll give you guys a little time to think about this. So my easy answer to this is pumpkin pie. It doesn't matter if it's
Obviously,
Christmas.
yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's Christmas. Doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie to me has to be part of the celebration. If I'm gonna throw a second out, which I think this is the real dinner item, and this is gonna be funny, but it's the jellied cranberry from the can. So have you ever had that jellied cranberry that you slide it out of the can? It still has the ripples from the can on the side of it, and then you slice it up. And it's not great. It tastes horrible with milk, by the way, just in case you ever do this. Don't advise it.
Why would you do that?
Well, because I was a kid, they gave me milk to drink, and so
All right.
you know, but then I would have the cranberry, and I was like, this tastes like ass. I don't like this. But I love that jellied cranberry. Even though it's horrible, it has to be on the menu. So that's me. Mr. Matthew, what is your go-to item for holiday celebration?
Oh man. There's so many choices. But I think if it's a celebratory meal, if there's one thing that's got to be there, it's got to be some good bread, like homemade bread.
Oh.
Whether it's a big loaf that you slice up or it's dinner rolls, but some good yeasty bread.
All right. You ever do
is,
that
is
pull apart
my-
bread? You ever made one of those?
Monkey bread? Yep. Made those.
Okay. This is all just going to
yeah,
make me
it's-
very hungry for the record.
Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of what happens. It's kind of what happens.
Kim?
I do like
Nope.
the cranberry sauce.
Okay.
In fact, my day after Thanksgiving go-to is to take a roll if any of them survive, put some turkey and some stuffing and some cranberry sauce on a roll, and that is just delicious.
All right. Do
Yep.
you add mayo
There
to
you go.
that mix or no?
I could see how mayo might enhance it, but usually that's those three things together are enough.
Okay.
Enough.
All right. I like it. Kim, go-to food item for the holidays.
Alrighty. Well, my brother makes an oyster dressing.
Oyster
And-
dressing.
Oyster dressing, yeah, it's the dressing, but it's got oysters in it. It's like smoked oysters. And I swear to God, I will eat the whole entire pan if they would let me. I don't know why. I mean, because I like stuffing as it is, but he throws those oysters into it, and oh my God, it's like the best thing, you know.
And so we're talking like a traditional like turkey stuffing made with oysters, not a salad dressing.
Right,
Okay.
right. No,
Just
not a
making
salad
sure.
dressing. Like
Just
the,
making
the-
sure.
Yeah,
All right.
like cornbread dressing or whatever you want to make it out of. But yeah, he puts smoked oysters in it. Like I said, if they park that pan in front of me, I'll just eat like a little pig.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
All right. And then so we have our go-tos. Now here's the interesting one. This is a great follow-up question. Mr. Matthew came up with this. Conversely, aside from turkey, which I would like to call foul, no pun intended, that this was not included. What is the Thanksgiving or appropriate holiday live for where you live dish that is largely overrated? So what dish do you consider overrated? I will say I do find turkey overrated, but I will pick something else.
Oh.
It's out of bounds. Let's see. The reason I said not to choose turkey is because everyone's going to say turkey.
Yeah,
Right? That's
fair.
the easy answer.
Not me.
Fair.
Right?
Nope.
All right. We will start in reverse order. So Kim, you get to go first.
All right. For the
Overrated
record, I like
dish.
turkey because, like, when we have these family things, unless it's like my brothers and sisters, my uncle will make fried chicken for fucking Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I mean, if I were to pick, it'd be fucking fried chicken. But anyway, I would much rather have turkey, in my opinion. But if we're not gonna go that way, I would say like the Jello salads with the cottage cheese in it. You know how you, like your grandmother, your aunt will make those Jello salads with the cottage cheese in it and like the fruit cocktail. What the fuck is that?
That's old school. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. I get all excited because I see this like Jello salad sitting there, and I'm thinking Cool Whip, with fruit cocktail, and then I get a big old spoon of it and put it on a plate, and there's cottage cheese in it.
Yeah.
What is that? So yes, that would be my one thing.
Okay. Mr. Matthew, overrated, most overrated.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. A lot of people probably not going to agree with me, but I'm going to say mashed potatoes.
Oh,
mashed potatoes.
You are criminal.
Mashed potatoes are a delicious way to get butter and gravy into your gullet.
Yes.
But I would rather put gravy on turkey and butter on bread and skip the mashed potatoes. And here's the reason. Most people don't know how to make mashed potatoes. They either make the instant mashed potatoes, or there's too many lumps in them, or they're like, we're going to be healthy and we're going to use margarine. No, you put butter in it, and a lot of butter. And that's the only way to make good mashed potatoes. So if they're good mashed potatoes, I'm there. But most people do not make good mashed potatoes, right? That's so I'm saying mashed potatoes.
All right, mashed potatoes, fair. And I will say a bad mashed potato, yeah. But I'm with you. Good mashed potatoes, yeah, you can't beat them. I will say this. I think the candied yams dish is overrated.
Yes.
Everybody seems to say they love it, but it always seems to be the least eaten thing. And I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, if I were going to pick a second, I would go with either the candied yams or the sweet potato souffle that everyone likes, which is like a casserole with marshmallows on top.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can keep it.
Yep.
Nope.
All right. Well, we solved all the world's problems when it comes to holiday dinners.
We did.
There we go.
Well done. All right. What are we doing next? I think we're good. We're going to talk games.
We're talking games.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
I did interrupt you, Mr. Matthew. Please continue.
No, we're good. I wasn't sure if we were talking about games that are free because we paid for them. It looks like we already talked about all of these. So
yeah, I haven't updated it because, of course,
onward and onward.
Onward and onward. Who would like to go first? That's the question to ask.
I mean, I only have like two games, so.
Kim, raise your hand.
All right,
yeah,
Kim,
I'll go first.
You get to go first.
Okay. Well, there's no Baldur's Gate this week because my gaming mojo has been totally off. I can't. I don't know what it is, but ever since Extra Life, it seems like the last thing I want to do is pick up a controller. I'm sure I'll get out of it because I've been through this before. But so I haven't played much. I played Helldivers 2, which I'm really excited for the new War Bond coming out. The Python with the minigun and the chainsaw and the flamethrowing guard dog. Yeah, I'm all about that sucker. I actually played this weekend to make sure I had plenty of super credits so I could get it. Anyway, me and Boomer played that yesterday, as a matter of fact. We were fighting squids. You know, it is. And I don't know. Of all the things to fight, I still don't like the squids as much, but I'll do it.
I think we all agree on that.
Right? They're just not my favorite. I mean, I'll slaughter them if you want me to. And I'm really excited to see what that chainsaw will do to them, because all I get from that is like Space Marine vibes, and we all know how much I like the chainsword. So, I played that. I did play something new. I played Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. It's on Game Pass, and Actually, I have the first one, and to be fair, I can't remember if I've played much of it or not. But for some odd reason, it was up on the dashboard, and it, I don't know, scratched an itch or something that I had, and I've started playing that. I haven't got very far. I think I've only played maybe an hour or so. It's pretty good. Basically, what it is when it starts out, you're a watcher, and you get killed by this god. Well, he ends up taking a fragment of your soul. Well, the, I don't know, head watcher person or something brings you back, and your goal is to track this god down and get the fragment of your soul back. So yeah, that's like I said, so far that's what it is. We're on a ship. Pirates tried to take us over, and that didn't work. We ended up slaughtering them, and then your ship crashes on, I assume, some sort of an island or something. Like I said, I've only played about an hour, so story-wise, I'm not exactly sure where it's all going. But yeah, it's not bad. There is an actual like an action role-playing mode, or there is turn-based, and you will be surprised to know that I did pick the turn-based mode. So
Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, it's on Game Pass. We'll keep at it. Either that or
I threw it up on screen, Kim. So, one,
Yep.
the beginning kind of, I'm gonna call it like a stills cartoon kind of start to it.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
But it looks like this is very much like Baldur's Gate 3, and that's like isometric view of your characters. Definitely has that kind of.
Well, it is made by Obsidian, so there is that. Which, yeah, so there is that. Yeah, I don't know. So far so good. I probably should go back and play the first one, because I think there is a way you can bring your character over from that one to this one. But obviously, since I had no character, so I could start brand new. But you know, it's an RPG, and it's turn based, and right now that seems to be my jam at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. It's a little, I don't know. It's a little. You can definitely tell it was a PC game, or it started out that way. So trying to play it with a controller has been a little interesting, but I'm sure once I play a little more of it, I'll get the knack down and it'll be fine. But yeah, Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire. It's on Game Pass, so if you like RPGs, give it a go.
All right, and you said this was Obsidian?
Yes.
So here's the interesting thing. Since they made the Pillars, the two Pillars games, their last 3 games have been more or less first-person shooter like games. You've got both of the Outer Worlds games, Avowed, and so they've completely kind of gone away from the turn-based RPG kind of. They still do the dialogue systems, and I think that's great. I just find it interesting that they've kind of done this shift, away from kind of their roots, if you will. Anyway,
yeah.
All right, I'm curious to hear more about Pillars of Eternity. I remember the first one. I did kind of fall off of it because, for me, the RPG elements of it, there wasn't enough combat. I guess maybe that's the best way to put it. It bored me a little bit, and I hate to say that because I do like those types of games, but it just felt like the fights were few and far between, and there was a lot more dialogue interaction, which, in fairness, maybe that's the whole point of those games. The Pillars games. I just don't know. Wasn't my jam.
Well,
okay.
It's not for everybody, that's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing this week. So
okay.
Hopefully next week I'll have some more. We'll see how it goes. So
all right.
November's just been busy. I don't know. I mean, that's what it is.
I still am shocked. It's November 30th. We're done with November. I feel like November just started not too long ago. Like we just
I know.
We just completed Extra Life, and I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, the month has just disappeared.
Right.
It's gone.
It's gone. Mr. Matthew, what's been on your playlist?
So of course, Arc Raiders, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure. The No Man's Sky housekeeping is there. The new game that I played this week is called Young Sons. Now, this game is in early access. If you go to the devs page, they're calling it an early alpha. So it's nowhere near a finished product. But it caught my eye because it's a space exploration game, and I like space exploration games. I wasn't too put off by the sort of simpler visual style of it because I played Astroneer and really enjoyed Astroneer. So I was like, once you get into it, maybe the gameplay is there.
I have an immediate question.
Not.
I have an immediate question for you, and this is just based on
Go
what I'm
for
seeing
it.
on screen.
Are
these conversations voice acted, or is it all reading?
It's all reading. Yeah, it's all reading.
Greg's out. Greg's out.
Yeah. I don't know if they plan to add voices later. Now, the thing that's nice about it is the conversations are really short, and they don't leave you guessing whether or not the conversation is over. The NPC will basically just say goodbye, and that's it. The conversation is over.
That I can appreciate.
And the way that you answer is, rather than being given a list of things to say, you get a little wheel and you're like, are you glad they said that? Did that make you angry, frustrated? Do you want to ask them a question, kind of a thing? So it's a little more, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick to play through the conversations. It seems as though all of the elements are going to eventually be there. What you kind of see in there is you rummage through these junk piles to find scrap crafting components.
I love the animation of that, for the record, just diving into the rummage pile.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. So when I first loaded it up and I started reading what was going on screen, I immediately got impressions of The Expanse, the novels, and the was that an Amazon Prime show?
Yep.
So the setting is you're sort of the people that are left behind after some type of conflict between some large corporations from Earth and the people who live in this system of space stations around Jupiter. So you kind of have that belters versus inners kind of conflict like you have in The Expanse. So I'm curious to see where they go with it. It's definitely, the feel of it is for the younger crowd, like the emotions of the characters and things are a lot more what you see in sort of Gen Z Twitter, which isn't a bad thing. It just is a thing.
Right.
It's not the macho Master Chief wading through the Covenant forces, right? Dialogue is very important. The choices that you make are very important. So I'll check back in with this game in about a month, see if they've added any new features. Right now, it's just sort of a sandbox. There aren't really any quests. You can just kind of fly around in your ship and see what you can find. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting game that's in development there that I decided to give a look at. It's only, I want to say the download was only like 1.5 gigabytes. Like, it's not a very big download. It downloaded real fast. And it's also, of course, available through Cloud Play if that's your jam. And it does tell you right off. I started playing it, and it popped up and said, "This game is best experienced with a controller. If you want to continue with a keyboard and mouse, you may find it a little wonky." So I plugged in a controller and kept on jamming, and it plays really smooth with the controller. No issues at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think the video I pulled up is actually somebody playing with keyboard and mouse, which I find a little funny.
Yeah. I mean, it works. But it's they tell you right off, like, it's meant to be played with a controller, and you kind of see them flipping through. There's a bunch of features that just aren't there yet. So it's early alpha.
All right,
that's all I got to say about that game.
Yeah, no, interesting. So on the funny side, when I saw this on your list, I went to pull the video, and I'm looking for Young Sons, SONS.
I spelled it wrong, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, and so I'm like looking. I'm like, I ain't no game called Young Sons. So I'm like, well, let me just do a Google search for this now, because YouTube wasn't pulling anything. Well, it was pulling lots of things, just nothing that was gaming related. And then
nothing that you wanted to put on the podcast.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I found out it was Sons, as in the sun, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I found plenty of video clips of it. So it looks interesting. The dialogue stuff definitely is a red flag for me, but if it moves smoothly enough and it doesn't weigh you down, I think for me, the most heinous thing any developer can ever do is give me those kind of dialogue reading boxes and not be able to fast forward through them or just move them along faster. There's been so many games where it's like you have to painfully watch the dialogue kind of type itself out before you can move on. It's just like, just shoot me now. Just shoot me now. Okay. Anything else you want to speak to other than Arc Raiders? I know we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Nah, I think that's those. Most of my gaming time this week has been Arc Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will go next here. I'm going to talk about Black Ops campaign because I did play some more of this. I'm just throwing up that intro scene. So it's not a great Black Ops campaign. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really know. They're trying some different things. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. I feel like in some weird ways they've taken some inspiration from like Kojima Metal Gear Solid games, and they have kind of some of these more wacky kind of like boss battle encounters. And so because you're playing this, there's a mind altering thing happening. You and your team find yourself into these situations that are, kind of these crazy, very odd environments that are not, humanly possible, if you will. But the reason for them is they are doing a tie-in, as I'm going to get rid of this nice little ad. They're doing a tie-in with zombies. So much like the last campaign from Black Ops 6, they had, they kind of introduced the zombies into that. This also is having kind of a little bit of that tie-in. Not fully, at least not yet for me. But there is a little bit of that element to it. And so that is what's introducing these kind of psychotic or, psychiatric mind-altering moments for your team. But there's some inconsistencies. Why these soldiers just kind of are transported into this mind-altering world to do battle, yet everybody else that's introduced to this chemical either seems to die from it or be transformed into some raging kill machine. So that doesn't really make sense to me. So from a story standpoint, I feel like there's some holes here in the story that are pretty big that they need to explain, and maybe they do later on, because I will say this, your soldiers are definitely enhanced. The characters you play, you're not totally human anymore. You've had implants, you've had, kind of cybernetics done to your bodies. And so they do talk about that at the beginning of the game. I kind of like that. Also, the voice actors, the characters themselves are fantastic. So they spent their money wisely, I think, on some of the characters they've added into it. I'm going to fast forward to kind of one of those mind-altering scenes just to give you some flavor for what's going on with this game. There we go. Oh, this is no, they're playing multiplayer. All right, no, never mind. Bad audio. So is it the best campaign? No. Is it the worst campaign? I don't know. I feel like they're just trying some different things that maybe aren't necessarily landing with your traditional Call of Duty, players, but it's not horrible. I did laugh a little bit though, because I completed the first level and I got a diamond achievement from Xbox because nobody else is playing this campaign apparently, and completing that first level. So, it's definitely not a good sign for Call of Duty. But I think like in years past, we see it happen often with Call of Duty. It's kind of like every other year they release a stinker of a game, and then they come back strong with a better game. I think this just might fall into one of the stinker categories.
Right.
So, Any questions about Call of Duty?
Have you tried the multiplayer at all?
I have not. I have heard that is a saving grace for the game. Like a lot of reviewers are saying the multiplayer is kind of saving the day for this game. I don't know. I've never been a big multiplayer guy, so I'm kind of, not too fussed about that.
Right.
Zombies, I'm curious to check out, but I want to do that with you guys. I'm not going to try and solo zombies. So anyway, so still to be determined, but I will say, at least so far, it's not as bad as I think some make it out to be. But I do feel like it's going in a very kind of fantastical Kojima kind of way with some of the enemy fights and the boss battles, if you will, which we haven't really ever seen in previous Call of Duty games. Traditionally, Call of Duty games are basically you're just fighting through wave after wave of enemy type. Whereas here you're kind of getting some of these quote unquote super bosses that you have to defeat them. So, I mean, okay. I will say this. My first super boss battle involved a giant machete coming out of the sky and basically being a weapon that you had to kind of use against the super boss to end the quote unquote nightmare scenario. Not definitely Call of Duty-esque, but once I understood what was happening, it was fairly easy to get through it, but it did take a beat for me to figure out what the hell was going on.
Right.
And again, visually, it looks great. Control-wise, it plays great. I will say this, the Call of Duty controls and gameplay have always been fantastic, and so that is not missing in this game for sure. Okay. To the game that literally is just occupying a spot in my brain 24/7, it feels like. Arc Raiders. Kim, you have not taken the plunge yet. I feel like
I have not.
We can lure you in at some point.
I mean, you got Sarah, so I mean,
it did get Sarah.
Yeah, you gotta get in there, Kim. Gotta get in there.
well, I'm still playing Helldivers, so I mean,
Speranza is counting on you.
Speranza's counting on you. Helldivers.
Do it for Scrappy,
Well, the nice thing also, Kim, it is only a $39 game. So there's that. It's not a full price game.
Right.
So you break out your birthday bank. Just saying.
Right.
All right, Mr. Matthew, let's talk Arc Raiders. You said you had things to say. I would like to hear what you have to say.
No boy.
I mean, I have things to say. All right. I don't know. No, this game has been pretty much all that I played. Like I've taken a little break to play some other games just so that I have something else to talk about. I do my housekeeping in No Man's Sky daily. It continues to be an amazing experience. And my experience has been mostly in the solo worlds where you instead of playing in teams, which I'm tending to enjoy more. There's a little more cooperativeness, I find in teams, like people just want to fight. And that's like, well, I don't understand the point of PvP in this game. I don't ever have any good.
The developer did say they purposely kept it because originally this was a PvE game, and they introduced the PvP. And the developer came out and they had a conversation about this, and they said he specifically said the success of this game is based on it being in there.
So I understand the developer's point of view. I do. Mm-hmm. What I don't understand is why other players choose to engage in PvP. Right?
Right.
I always carry a free loadout. If somebody wants to shoot me, they can have my free loadout and my light shield and my level 1 common weapon. And whatever I've scrounged up, you're welcome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right now,
I don't get it
on screen an engagement of PvP, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and so the thing is, right? If they engage me and I win and they have some good gear on them, then they just lost some good gear and I had nothing at risk. So there's the risk reward equation isn't there, at least for me. Maybe people just get off on trolling people. Maybe that's what's going on. And that's
Yeah.
my worry about this. My worry about this game is 3 months down the line, if people just kind of, people have maxed out, they got all the things, they just got whatever they want. And rather than turning into something like Fallout 76 or No Man's Sky, where people just at that level just start helping other people, it just turns into people trolling each other.
Right.
That's my worry. I don't see the risk reward for PvP being there. And it also makes the risk reward for going after some of the bigger enemies not there, right?
No, very true, because there definitely are people talking about how they try to farm other players in those big engagement battles.
Yeah.
It's like you're distracted by the enemy.
I think it was you and me and Corzan, right? And we were fighting a Rocketeer, and we were just about done with it. And then I was trying to complete one of the quests, and then this other team showed up and started fighting us.
Right.
Maybe it was me and Jeff and Gary. I think it was me and Jeff and
I was there
you?
with you. Yeah.
It was you. Yeah. And so it's like all of a sudden, like they just came and I guess they could have got some good loot off the Rocketeer. I didn't have anything worth taking. So I guess for some XP maybe.
Right.
Anyway, so that I find that part of the teams frustrating. As much as I want to play this game with friends as a team game, I find that aspect frustrating. Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, I'm of two minds. I do like the risk reward elements of not just the PvE but the PvP, and it's and I'll say it this way, and so I have a kind of an interesting experience similar to what happened to us. I was fighting a drone. I was solo this time, mind you, and another player came to my rescue and started attacking the drone that was attacking me. He helped me kill it, and and I'm like, thank you, and I went about on my way. But as I was leaving that area, I heard him get into a firefight, and I could hear him, because you can basically open your mic up and do a hot mic to talk to other players. And so I could hear that he was battling another player. And my immediate reaction, run. So,
right.
But there's that heightened, this tension of, are you going to encounter another, you will encounter humans, but are they friendly or are they foe? I, interestingly, probably about 8 runs now, in just solo, I have not experienced any PvP. All the players seem to be, helpful, that kind of thing. The times I have gone into teams, it's one of two things that have transpired. Either we get into some firefights where we end up, getting bested. There's been a couple times where, we actually, you, myself, and Sarah, we ended up losing you, but we were able to take out the other team. And that was, I'm not going to lie, a very satisfying moment of knocking that other team out and just being like, score, and then we extracted and got out of there. So, I've heard people suggesting maybe they should, introduce a PvE only map, to try and kind of satisfy some of those players that don't want to play against other players. I struggle with it just because, I mean, the interaction with other players is such an intense component to this game, because you just don't know. Are they out for no good? Are they out to be, do-gooders, if you will, and being like, hey, all for one, one for all? I think if they were able to introduce some kind of mechanic that rewarded cooperative play over hostile PvP interaction, maybe that would kind of sway this to be a little bit, especially in the multi or the team game. Maybe that could help sway it a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah. It seems that whatever streamer you have picked for the
He is just
Arc
an
Raiders
asshole.
video is just out for PvP.
Yes.
Which, if that's how you want to play the game, that's how you want to play the game. I also saw some people suggesting PvE only servers, and I don't think that's the way to go. It would change the whole character of the game.
Yeah.
Unless you could go into a PvE only server with lower or much lower chance of the high tier rewards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that aside, marvelous game, loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some frustrating experiences. Early on, I had some really frustrating experiences. Now that I kind of know a little more about the game mechanics, I know how to do a loadout that I don't care if I lose the loadout.
Right.
I was looking at a video that Gary DeFelice posted earlier today comparing various weapons, and just confirmed my assertion that free loadout is the best loadout. Or if you feel like you need something more leveled up, common guns, right? You don't need to, or green guns. I'll take green guns because I can either craft or buy replacement green guns if I lose them. So I'll take those.
So it's funny you're saying that, because I kind of wrote a new plan in my notes. So my new plan has been stockpiling an arsenal. So I've been running a bunch of free loadouts to, in a sense, get a bunch of loot, get kind of money, if you will, a generic way of saying this, but to build that up and then get a bunch of green guns or guns that I like, or maybe even common guns, but they're just leveled up and maxed out, and just have kind of a pool of guns. And once I get it to enough that I feel comfortable with, then I'll start going back into games with those loadouts and not feel like, because early on you'll get one good gun and you're like, oh, I finally got a good gun. And if you lose that, you're just back to ground zero and you're like, shit, I've got nothing again. Yeah. And so this should not detract you, Kim, because you will get good guns. You will find stuff, even in the, with losing stuff. There still is a lot of reward within the game, and they do other things like feats and quests that you can complete that will give you other stuff.
And the good guns aren't that much better than the bad guns. So
also true.
Doesn't really matter. That's the other thing I learned is it doesn't really matter. I've been downed by gray guns more often than I've been downed by anything else in terms of players versus players.
Right.
Stinking Hornet gets me. And that's the other thing.
That's the other thing. Real quickly, just speaking about the Hornets, I love that there's a strategic way to attack the drones. Understanding, what type of drone you're going up against. So, they might have, four propellers on them, but if it's a Hornet, its front two are protected, which for the longest time, I did not realize that was the case. And the back two were vulnerable. So you want to shoot their back two propellers to make them unstable and crash. And the drones, it is hilarious when you make them unstable, because they start flying erratically, but they're still trying to shoot you, even in their erratic moments. And there's been a couple times where they've crash landed, but they're not destroyed yet, and they can still shoot at you.
You can still shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be careful. So another thing is they're quadcopters, right? The Rocketeer, the Hornet, the Wasp are all quadcopters. So if you shoot one propeller, they should crash. The way those systems are designed, the center of mass of the unit is right at, if you draw a line from the opposite corners, the center of mass of the unit is right at that intersection. As soon as you take out one of those sides, it should be toast.
But this is
now
the future,
maybe
Chris.
balancing.
This is the Ark solved that problem apparently, and that's how they took over the world.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Now they took over the world with the giant walking ones.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a minor thing. I get why from a design perspective, I get why they did it the way they did it.
Right.
It's fine. Let's see what else. Why does a chicken need 3 pillows? He's already got a cat bed. You know what I mean?
Why does a chicken need a
You know what I
dog
mean?
collar? So we're talking about Scrappy, and Scrappy, in essence, Scrappy is a game mechanic that allows you to come back from a mission, even if you failed and you get killed out in the world, that you'll still get something from it. So he gives you basic building parts, and you can level him up by doing certain quests. So the first quest you get for Scrappy the chicken is to find a dog collar, and you give that to Scrappy the chicken, and it levels him up to tier 2, which gives you just slightly more scrap materials to then be able to create a gun or create a shield, things like that. But it is an odd thing. Scrappy the chicken, and yeah, the next quest on it is he needs 3 pillows, 6 apricots, and is it olives? No, mushrooms. I think it's like
3 pillows, 12 apricots, and 12 mushrooms.
Oh, so yeah.
And I have all week, I've had 12 mushrooms and 12 apricots sitting in my stash. Now, foolishly, before I knew I needed to keep it, I sold one of the very comfortable pillows because they have the little diamond icon that says you should sell this for coins.
Right.
And so I did. And then I realized, oh, I need those. And I haven't found one since. So I have one sitting in my inventory, and poor Scrappy is just stuck with his cat bed, I guess.
I may have extra pillows if you need that.
I mean, if you want, you need 3. So if you want to give me some, I'll take them, but don't, you know
but
what
I'll
I mean?
also start, because I've been selling off extra pillows, so I'll start keeping those.
I have been raiding all the residential.
Apparently Greg is the pillow god.
Residential is where the pillows are at. I also have an extra Bettina blueprint.
Is that the pistol?
No, that's one of the assault rifles.
I think I have that one.
Okay.
I just haven't. That's a purple gun, right?
It might be. I don't recall. I think it's
I have one of the blueprints for a purple gun, but I can't find the parts that I need to upgrade my gun bench to be able to build it.
Yeah, this is the pellet feeding this game does, Kim. So
it's a purple assault rifle.
Yeah, you have all this loot that is different colors for different different levels of performance, and you have these workbenches that you have that you create that allow you to craft things, but you also get to upgrade the workbenches. So they have just a ton of different systems to just keep you going. And of course you can buy skins, within their store, but like Helldivers, they do reward you with in-game currency now and then that over time it will add up, and then you could buy stuff out of the store with that in-game currency instead of spending actual money. And then they also have some kind of free stuff, again, just like Helldivers, where you have this other secondary currency that come from feats, which is basically like achievements that you do or challenges in a day. And then you can buy other outfits that are, or equipment. So it's smartly designed. I did not realize, by the way, this is part of a news conversation that we'll have later, but the AI the voices in this are all AI.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bet you the Actors Guild is not pleased about that.
I imagine not.
It's interesting. Like all the voices, even the quest givers.
I think I don't know if it's the quest givers. I believe what it is the character models have all these different voices that they do for certain things, like hey Raider, and so I think they had a voice actor come in and say those lines, and then they took AI and transmorphed their voices into these different other types of voices to fit different character models. So there's different voices. I think there's like 8 different voice types. They all say the same thing. And so that was all done through AI. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But anyway, it's a good game. Straight up, it is a good game.
You have those funny things that happen. I have not witnessed this, but I was reading about a guy who has been running around the Stella Montis, the indoor level, and all he's doing is running around with a free loadout, and he has an open mic playing All I Want for Christmas. Is that Mariah Carey's song? Is that the name of it?
Funny.
Or All I Want for Christmas Is You. And he's just playing that song through his voice channel, and it, because it's proximity chat, it's like far away and then it gets closer, and he's just posting the way other people are reacting. Like it's just hilarious things. Or Gary leaving me to die on the surface as he crawls into the elevator, and posted a video about it.
I would expect nothing different from Gary. Yeah,
that's the foe. Like so
yeah. So Kim, you gotta get it. You gotta get it.
I'll think about it.
Christmas is coming up.
I'll think about it. Oh, I know.
Don't think. Do it. One of us.
Kim, it's real.
One of us.
One of us.
Apparently.
Yeah, and so it's funny because it does have a little bit of the Helldivers to it, in some respects. Just the loot and kind of how you kind of can earn stuff. But again, the dynamic of two things that they did differently from Helldivers. One, they introduced PvP, right? So that's there. Right. And so you're battling not only the environment, but you're battling other human players. But I love the fact that they did not make they kept it a friendly fire off game. So you cannot shoot your fellow team member and kill them.
Well, that's good.
100%, because God knows, it would encourage your team killing of your own team to get their
right.
Loot.
Right.
And also playing with Gary, he would shoot you in the back, and it would be unintentional in quotes. So, but anyway, yeah.
So speaking of friendly fire, and then I'll be done. I had a funny experience earlier in the week. I was playing in solos, and I was just trying to do one of the quests, go search the scrapyard or whatever. And I came across another guy, and he we did the whole like, hey, don't shoot, okay, and we were copacetic. A third person came. I guess I don't know if they didn't see me, but they started PvP with the other guy, and so they started firefight, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go help this guy out. So I jump in and I'm helping out this guy, and we're chasing this other dude down, and he goes to hide, and we both try to flank him, and he sneaks between us. So we pop around the corner facing each other, and I accidentally shot the dude that I was trying to help.
Oh shit.
And as soon as I realized it was him, thankfully he had a very distinctive character skin. So I was like, oh, and so I stopped shooting and put my weapon away, and he recognized that as saying, hey, didn't mean to shoot you. And we carried on, and we took out the aggressor. This aggression will not stand. But so that was just kind of a funny experience. And that's what's great about this game is you can have those experiences.
Yeah, that just, it's such an emergent gameplay that you never know how your run's going to go. And I will say this, I had so many runs last night that I was just out for loot, just in and out. And I was trying to go for a quest. By the way, there's also a skill tree. They're showing that up on screen now too. So there's a lot of things to this game. But I was on a quest. I need to get those stupid healing plants to upgrade or to get this quest. And so I've been going back to this one particular map that has a lot of those in it, that the hospital, know the map I'm talking about, Buried City. And I get in there and I just immediately fill up my loot, and I'm thinking, you know what? No, I'm not going to go for the quest. So I bail out,
bug out,
get back home, unpack my backpack, go back in, specifically looking for these plants. I did that 6 times last night. Never once got one plant, but I filled up on loot.
You got a bunch of good loot.
Yes.
I've had similar playing solos in Stellamontis, trying to find the 3 androids that you're supposed to search.
Yes.
And a couple other missions in Stellamontis. I go in and I find a bunch of purple loot, and I'm like, I'm gonna bug out. I could come back later and do this other thing. I got all this purple loot. It's time to bug out. So yeah, it's fun that way.
All right. Let's shift gears. Let's talk some news. Going a little longer than I had hoped. Just so you know,
Me, sir.
But we'll talk some news.
You're skipping a very important part of the show.
All right, now everybody get settled. Get away from the windows. Now look, good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad.
Tough. I'm gonna.
Yeah, too bad. Tough.
I'm gonna put this.
The quiz.
Put this
it
in
has
bigger,
to happen.
bigger font. There we go. Make it in bigger font so you can't miss it. Maybe we'll highlight it. There we go. All right. Okay. I guess if Lord is still hanging around, he wants to participate. Otherwise, it's just it's a duel between Greg and Kim this week to see who comes out ahead. So, but since the show is running a little long, let's get right to it.
Okay.
Up first is 2008's Fable 2 on the Xbox 360. Community favorite. Fable 2
I love that
from
game.
2008 on the Xbox 360. And since Kim loves that game, she gets to
I
go
do.
first.
Oh, that was like one of my favoriteest games ever. The things I did in that game is terrible. Anyway,
How many times did we actually have community members getting together and having babies, which was a very odd thing. It was very weird.
There were a lot of
yes,
a lot of weird, that was definitely a thing that was happening. It was all for the Chiefs.
yes.
It was all for the
there
Chiefs.
you go. That's it. Yep. Exactly.
I actually made a second save so that I wouldn't have to deal with I would just let's get this achievement and then I'm going to delete this game save.
Oh wow. Alrighty, Fable 2 on the 360. Alright, I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say 90.
Kim says 90. What say you, Greg?
So I think Kim is not being generous enough. I'm gonna say 94.
Probably not.
Greg says 94. The actual answer 89.
Oh
wow.
So Kim wins that round. The next game is Yakuza 0 from 2017, and we're looking at the PS4 release. I think I said that word wrong. Yakuza. Japanese mob.
Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0. And Greg, you are up first.
Yeah. See, these are both very popular, good games, I think. Yakuza 0, I'm going to say, I'll go 89, just to steal from Fable, too.
Greg is stealing from Fable with 89. What do you think, Kim?
I'm going to say 85.
Kim's going to say 85, right on the money. The actual answer, 85.
Kim has been given the show notes. She's been given the quiz ahead of time.
Yeah.
That's right. Check Kim's pockets for quiz answers. Here we go. Moving.
That's it.
Moving right along.
Classes are up for show.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild from whenever that one came out. I forgot to write it down. And we're looking at the Switch. The Switch, not the Switch 2 version, but the Switch.
Okay.
And Kim, you're up again.
Alrighty. Well, I know there's a lot of people that like these games. I'm not one of them, but
also a 2017 game.
Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna say 90 for it as well.
9-0, you say?
9-0.
9-0, she says. Greg, what say you?
I'm gonna go. That's probably a good guess. But for the sake of trying to win. I'm going to say 96.
Your Price is right it in the correct direction. The actual answer was 97.
Oh,
Oh wow.
okay.
Which brings you to within 2 points. So going into the final round, the difference is 2
Oh
points.
boy.
All right.
And so we're gonna close out this week's quiz with Stardew Valley from 2016 on the PC. So this one's kind of I don't know that this one was popular with the community. Stardew Valley from 2016 on the PC, and we're back to Greg with the first word.
Pooh. 87.
87 from Greg. Kim?
That's a good score. Yeah, I didn't get along with Stardew Valley. It just wasn't my thing. So, but I know a lot of people liked it. I was just not one of them. I'm gonna say 85.
Kim's going to say 85. Your
Real
Price is
quickly.
righted him in the wrong direction. Wait, what?
I was going to say if Kim had been smart, she would have just stayed 1 point away from my score since I was 2 points behind her. I'm just saying, Kim.
Strategery.
Strategery.
Yeah,
Got to play to win. But the actual answer was 89.
Wow.
Which means for the first time in my memory, we have a tie going into the bonus round.
Okay.
And so, for minus 1 point for the win, Kim, you get the first word. What is the connection between all of these games? Remember, there's a hint in the show notes.
Fuck. All right. Hold on. Let me. There's a hint in the show notes. Right, because I'm totally gonna see that. Shoot. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the Jeopardy theme song's playing in my head. Right? I have no idea. I'm gonna say they all have pottery. Fuck, I don't know.
Kim says pottery. What do you think, Greg?
I believe the correct answer is that they all allow you to get fruit.
Let's see. I would have to look and see if there's fruit in Yakuza 0. But you're close. The actual answer is each of them features chickens in some prominent way as a game mechanic.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about Scrappy the chicken. So of course in Fable you could kick chickens.
Kick chickens.
Yeah. And then in Yakuza there was Nugget the chicken, who I believe gave you missions. And
I didn't know that.
and then in Legend of Zelda and Stardew Valley you could have pet chickens that would give you buffs. So this week ends in a tie.
Okay.
Well done, everybody. Also, the scores are getting lower and lower. I feel like I'm going to have to get some more difficult games. Both of you finished only 12 points off the total, which when the total was 360 points, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
I think
well done.
The inclusion of one of those like crazy outlier type scores where it's like either like way in an unexpected direction. Those are tough to come by.
They were all kind of middle, or they were all kind of high scoring games this week. So there we have it. Right. Chickens is the theme.
All right. As before I mentioned, we're going to get to the news.
Okay.
So, Chris, you actually added this news topic, which is actually I meant to add this in, so smartly picked out by you, that was missing from our conversation here. But that is that GPU prices are about to go up again as NVIDIA announces they will stop bundling VRAM to their add-in card partners. So, this actually ties in also to the Valve Steam Box, as people were talking about the expected price of the Valve Steam Box and it being higher than, consoles and being priced more like a PC. There's also rumors now that Microsoft may be having another price increase for the Xboxes because they did not.
They already announced it.
Oh, sorry.
I thought they had already announced another price increase.
They have not
let me-
announced it. They announced one price
Okay.
increase, but there's going to be a potential second price increase, and that's because VRAM continues to go up in price. And so I believe partners
all
like
memory.
Sony and Nintendo had actually done a little bit of stockpiling of these to help with that. And Microsoft, I think, because their hardware has not been a priority, didn't feel the need to do that, and now it's potentially going to bite them in the butt. But yeah, prices I think across the board for PC players and console players, it got to go up. Hardware's getting more expensive.
For everything. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't realize how many things use memory, right?
Yeah, TVs.
I think it's gonna TVs, smartphones, tablets,
Yeah.
your Peloton bike. You know, it's it was Bitcoin mining, and then Bitcoin mining kind of went to you had to have a dedicated circuit. You know, graphics cards just weren't fast enough anymore, and now it's AI.
Yeah.
AI. It's large language models are taking up all the RAM. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see whether we can increase the supply or what the demand is just going to continue to go up and up and up and up, because the new competition is in who can get the fastest, bestest large language model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all pushing for it. Okay. Well, on the heels of that depressing news, Paradox Interactive announced it's making a multi-million-dollar write-down of development costs for Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 after poor sales. Per the story, basically after numerous delays, the game was finally released October 21st. But Paradox says an updated sales forecast made 30 days after release suggests it won't hit numbers it expected. Not shocking. I don't think this game was received terribly well. And so, they sunk, what was it? Decided to make a non-cash write-down of 355 million SEK or SEK, which is roughly 37.4 million US dollars, reducing the value it previously assigned to the money spent on developing the game. That's an interesting thing. So I'm not quite understanding this fully. Like, it sounds like they're lowering the value that they placed on what it cost to develop the game to maybe make their margins feel better. I don't know. This is an odd, some odd accounting here. But either way, the game did not sell well. Now this is an interesting one, and this goes back to our conversation about ARC and AI use for the voice models. So Epic's Tim Sweeney came forward basically saying it makes no sense for game stores to flag when AI has been used in development. So earlier this month on Twitter, user Matt Workman posted, Steam and all digital marketplaces need to drop the Made with AI label. It doesn't matter anymore. Sweeney found the post on Wednesday and replied to it saying he agreed with Workman because, in his opinion, AI will be used in so many games in the future that its presence will go almost go without saying. So, he agreed the AI tag is relevant to art exhibits for authorship, disclosure, and to digital content licensing marketplaces where buyers need to understand the rights situation. It makes no sense for game stores where AI will be involved in nearly all future production. When another user stated that customers deserve to know, Sweeney replied to that user saying, why stop at AI use? We could make it mandatory disclosures for what shampoo brand the developer uses. The customers deserve to know, LOL. And I side with Tim Sweeney. I don't think we need to know if AI was used or not in a game. I feel like AI is going to be used widely as tools, as applications. I don't know. I'm not bothered by the fact that they used AI voice actors or used AI to create voices. Do either of you have a thought or no, they need to be telling us that they're using AI?
I don't know that they need to be telling us. Well, let me back that up. in 2025, as the millennial generation comes into a lot of purchasing power and Gen Z behind them, they are very conscientious purchasers, right? They want to know where the things are coming from that they're buying. And so I think in that case, knowing that AI was used is important to that demographic because they want to buy things that support other people, right? They would rather buy a game that paid voice actors and paid coders and paid rather than a game that had AI generated voices, maybe used a large language model to cut down on the number of developers working on the code. And so I think in some cases it is important. You know, at the end of the day, I think it's important to give consumers as much information as you can without sacrificing proprietary information and let consumers make an informed choice that fits their values. So, sure. Why not?
It's a very well thought out response. Kim?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it amounts to how much AI is used, I guess. I mean, if they put it all together using all AI, I'm not sure how good that would be because I mean, I've used AI enough to know that it's not exactly, the end all be all of everything. I mean, imagine something like Baldur's Gate 3 and they used AI. I don't think it would feel the same. So, I don't know. Like I said, whether or not they should have it on there, maybe. I mean, because obviously there are some people that are going to want to know if there's AI involved or not. And then there's going to be others that it doesn't matter. So,
Yeah. I mean, so I definitely understand where you're coming at it, Chris and Kim. You make some good points. I mean, AI. I mean, our tools are going to be utilizing AI. They already are. In so many different ways in our life. And I've always looked at AI as a way to enhance our workflow and to enhance our capabilities to do things, not necessarily fully replace us. But there are going to be situations where, I mean, robotics is no different, right? We have assembly lines for car manufacturers where robotics has fully taken over certain jobs, and that's not, we didn't replace the humans, we did replace the humans with the robots, and there weren't new jobs created outside of that in theory, but there were. You now have technicians that now need to service the robots. And AI is going to be no different, that there's going to be new jobs that are created in the servicing of the AI industry, but certainly there's going to be some hits. I think as gamers, I don't need to know if you used AI to create the game. Just in my personal opinion, just specifically for a game. I think it is important for me to understand that developers, that have AI tools within them, that they maybe kind of disclose that they do utilize AI tools within their scope, and maybe they give kind of a range of how they use them. But I don't need to necessarily know every little bit. And I think like a game like Baldur's Gate, actually AI could be fantastic because AI could help you build out some storylines quickly. You're still going to need the human QA, if you will, to make sure it all makes sense and the story creatively flows. But you could create some very interesting AI models or stories built out rapidly to help the developers get it faster to market, so to speak.
I think where you have to, I don't think you could do a game like Baldur's Gate with AI voices. I just think the performances are too important in that game.
Yeah,
you could do an Arc Raiders, a Helldivers, a Call of Duty, Battlefield with AI voices.
For some things.
I think for most things in those games.
Well, I would push back on that, Chris, because I look at the Call of Duty campaign and the cutscenes where they have these the voice actors themselves, actors, so to speak, and I forgot the guy's name already that's in there. His performance is very well done and very believable. So for that, I would say no, AI couldn't be used. But on the multiplayer map where you've got a soldier grunting as he's taking a shot or fall damage, AI absolutely could be used for that.
Right. I agree with that.
I don't think there's a need to have a voice actor come in and for 30 minutes being like,
Yeah.
Is that good enough?
No, 100%.
No, with more feeling, please.
Although, but I do think maybe the direction Call of Duty has gone, where they're trying to tell some stories through their cutscenes. They need that, but I think a lot of games, particularly multiplayer heavy games, it doesn't matter. But certainly your Elder Scrolls games, your Fallout games, these narrative driven games. I think you need, at least for now. Who knows how long? But for now, you definitely need a voice actor to be there.
Yeah,
I
agree.
That's my 2 cents. What about Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk crushing it. It's now sold over 35 million copies, hitting the milestone faster than The Witcher 3 did. So this is just a true success story, from ashes to success, if you will, because that game launched, it was dead in the water. So many people, so many different reviewers were just coming after it, kind of post-launch, because of all the problems it had. And yet it is seemingly that, they stuck with it. They righted it. They did the customers, they did right by the customers, from refunding, and not, and I think platform holders also did right by customers for that respect. But Cyberpunk's great. It deserves all the kudos it should get. I hope they make another one.
Yeah, I do as well. I think it's in development.
Yeah, I believe so.
But they're go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kim, you haven't played Cyberpunk, have you?
I have not. No, I was more of a Witcher 3 because to be fair, I haven't even finished Witcher 3 yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, the main story I have, but then the DLC that could be its own separate game. I haven't finished some of that yet.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Chris, you were gonna say something.
No, I was just commenting on how they've stuck with the game. Like I think it was a 2017 release. In 2023, they released version 2.0. So they just kind of kept updating it, kept working on it. So yeah,
much like No Man's Sky did the same thing. So
yep.
I mean, they didn't give up on it.
Much like No Man's Sky, much like Fallout 76. Yeah, a lot of yep.
And I like seeing developers get rewarded for that kind of effort, because far too many times we see games just like get canceled, and not given a chance to truly right the ship, so to speak.
Right.
Last news story, and this is actually, personally, from my perspective, a feel-good news story, which is from the Game Awards. Somehow this title got mixed up a little bit, but basically the developer of Vampire Survivors roguelike Megabonk shared news on the game's social media channel, basically stating that he did not think they qualify as an indie dev and withdrew their nomination from the Game Awards. So the Game Awards had put them as an indie dev nomination. And he noted, unfortunately, yes, Megabonk is a game that, we created, but I have debuted other games under different developer names. So he's basically kind of saying, this is my first rodeo. I've had some success elsewhere. And so therefore I don't really think of myself or should be qualified as an indie dev. And so he withdrew himself out of the category. Or asked to be withdrawn out of the category. I don't know if technically he has been. And so, I'm of two minds on this. One, it could just be a refreshing inner look at oneself and saying, hey, honestly, let's give somebody else the spotlight here because we're really not an indie dev. Also, it just could be a very clever media play, a PR play of saying, hey, look at me, look at the game I made. I'm going to withdraw myself, kind of give myself a little bit of positive, negative, if you will, PR to my game and just drive eyes to it, because a lot of people can be like, oh, who's this? What's this game? I've never heard of it, but they're withdrawing from the Game Awards because he doesn't think he's an indie dev anymore. Well, I should check this out. I don't know. I was like, it's a positive play. It might just be a really savvy PR play.
Right.
Anyway, that's it. That's the news. Kim.
Okie dokie.
I believe we have some new releases.
We have a few, and to be fair, I looked at the month of December, and apparently we don't have many, so this will probably be the biggest list we have in, this month. Alrighty, to start out with, we have Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I can talk, really. For PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on the 1st. Kingdom of Night for the PC for the 2nd. Rising Heat, which is funny considering it's December, but alright. For the PC on December 2nd. She's Leaving. That's right, I'm getting the hell out of here. No, She's Leaving for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, December 2nd. Interesting name for a game, but I guess I'll have to figure that one out. Let It Die Inferno for the PS5 and PC on the 3rd. Blood Refreshed Supply. Totally different meaning. For the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, PC, December 4th. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for the Switch 2 and the Switch on December 4th. Octopath Traveler 0 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and Switch on the 4th. Routine for the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on the 14th. Here's the big one. We have SpongeBob Patty Pursuit 2 for the Apple Arcade on December 4th. We're running right out to get that one. And last but not least, we have Toy Smash Kaboom for the PC on December 4th, and those are your new releases. So.
Okay. I feel like someday
anything catch your eye?
Well, one, when you said Blood Refreshed, I instantly thought zombie game, but then when
I know, right?
corrected to Refreshed Supply, I'm like, okay, that's got to be some kind of
that might be vampires.
Simulator.
Yeah. Maybe vampires.
I think one of these days we should take one of these lists and see if we can create like a story of all the game titles.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are weird.
I'm like, Rising Heat, Cosmic Invasion, She's Leaving, Let It Die, Inferno. You could weave some kind of story with all of those.
You can put all that in AI, and it could shoot out some sort of story with that.
That'd be an excellent use of AI.
Yes.
Right.
There we go. All right. Mr. Matthew, we do
Mr.
these
DeLacy.
play dates.
We try. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we try to shoot some things. Lately, we've been shooting bots and trying not to get shot by extraction rats. Yes. So if you want to come dodge bots and rats with us and try to loot and shoot, well, we'd love to have you play a little Arc Raiders. That starts at 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and the rest of you can figure it out. On Fridays, we try to do some more shooting. Fatal Fridays at 8 p.m. Once again, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And again, the rest of you, well, you're just going to have to figure it out. And you know what? We love some ad hocery. If you see us on, then just send us a note on Discord in the future. Sometimes you'll see somebody just hanging out in one of the voice channels on Discord. That's kind of the community's way of saying, hey, I would love to play a game with somebody in this category of games for which chat I am hanging out in. So do that. We would love it. Since I'm already talking, if you want to get hold of us, you can email us, if you'd still email, at ocpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. And Kim will tell you what's going on Facebook. We'd love to get a review, a like, and a subscribe. It does help us to reach more gamers, so more like-minded gamers can find this wonderful community. And wherever you get your podcasts, look for The Overseas Connection. We distribute on Podbean. And I'm going to shout out Mark. I hope you feel better soon. I'm going to shout out the Raiders, not the Las Vegas Raiders, but the Arc Raiders. To hell with the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry I dissed on you, but I'm going to mashed potatoes. I'll give you a little shout out. I'm going to shout out squirrels because I've been enjoying watching Sarah's videos of trying to defeat the squirrels in her backyard.
Oh, I know. It's hilarious.
You're not going to win. Just give the squirrels their own food, and then the birds will have their own food, and you can be a Disney princess with all your wildlife friends. And finally, I'm going to shout out the two of you. Thanks for joining me once again here on this podcast, because it's always fun to hang out and talk life and video games. Over to you, Kim.
Alrighty, yeah, same to you guys. You know, this is my, like I always say, this is my adult time because usually I'm either talking to children or cats, and I know how that makes me sound, but I don't care. Anyway, I'm going to shout out Lord, who was our only chatter this week. So, thanks, Lord, for dropping in and you know, for a little while and chatting with us. We appreciate that. Boomer, you're going to get an ass chewing because you didn't show up today. There better be a good reason. Other than that, I hope everybody has
a... Never know.
Never know. People are strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully everybody has a good week this week. I'm hoping that tomorrow the weather's nice because my sister and I have to drive to Kansas City to pick up my nephews back from their dad. So that's a 4-hour trip to and from. So I'm not looking forward to that, but what are you going to do? Other than that, hope everybody has a good week, and I'm going to pass you over to Greg.
All
So
right.
take it away, Greg.
I'm going to start with realizing the first name Gary is just an oddity because you'd think it's short for something, but I don't think it is. I think it's just Gary.
I believe so.
Or Gartholomew. Maybe there's a name. I don't think that's really a name, but why not?
The Gartholomew.
I'm sure it's somebody's name. Be short for Gerald. Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, if you're named Gary, you're a different breed. You're a different animal. And I'll stop there. I'm not going to insult anybody. I'm trying to be better. I know I am not politically correct, people. I do realize that. I've said many things on this podcast that probably would get me in trouble in real life. But we're in fake make-believe podcast land, so it cannot happen. Shout out to the two of you. Thank you for joining me on this fine Sunday afternoon. I love talking with you guys, talking games, talking life. It's always good. Shout out to the surgeon that took care of my son. He did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Nurse Ratchet that tried shoving the tube down his throat. Not such a friendly shout out to her. I'm going to shout out myself and give myself a pat on the back because I have not once talked about the Kansas City Chiefs Thanksgiving Day game. Didn't do it.
God's sake.
Didn't do it. Didn't even mention it.
You just did. You just did.
You just did.
You just did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like to poke the bear a little. All right. That is it. We're done. We're out of here. Thank you, everybody. Come back again next week. We'll hang out. We'll talk video games again.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See